should have filmed it, but I just got my favorite matcha from a coffee shop called Desnudo. I love them because their marketing is insane. There's always a line, and I really wanted to learn from them. And so I wanted to invite the founders on for a podcast. And so I just emailed them, and coincidentally, as I was getting their matcha, they just emailed me back, but it wasn't great news. I don't know if you can read that, but they said, "Hey, thanks for reaching out. Your podcast sounds great. We're heads down and aren't able to take on any new appearances. That said, we're genuinely grateful for the offer." So super sweet message, super sweat people. Juan and Sergio, they're the founders. So hopefully when they're not heads down and they have a bit more time to go public, they can appear on the podcast. But that's the update, and I will show you what's next. You guys, that was scary.
Well, because it was like Christmas or like a break, I didn't have therapy. So I didn't have my usual rant of how much I really don't like the way my family acts. So all Barry was kind of, because I didn't really,
You didn't listen to advice.
I didn't listen to
Right.
the advice. Point blank didn't listen to it. That's just because I didn't have a lot of time when I was ranting. I would like start it. I would be like the 5 minutes I had alone in my room, and it's just like what happened that day, like getting it off my chest, and it made it so much easier to like then calm down, like go and be like, okay, I can now peacefully get in with my family. Because like normally I would rant with like a friend or something, but like when my family's in town, like there's a lot of rants. And like it's just like simple little things where it's just like it doesn't really mean something, but getting it off my chest made it a lot easier. So Barry has a permanent spot like right under my bedside table now.
Wow.
He has his own little like
And once it
There's a
gets
little
better,
basket.
it won't be so annoying, so that
Oh,
hopefully the advice will actually be helpful. This is one of our worst users. Her name is Sarah Banner, and she doesn't really look.
She's on 16 different government watch lists.
Sorry guys.
They will.
Okay, guys, we're going on a walk. Hey guys, me and Silka just presented to the group that you just saw on camera. Here's my good friend Emily and Maddie. And
Good friend.
yeah, go ahead. What did we just do?
We actually
just basically promoted Alpha to a couple of private schools.
Right, and what were we doing?
We were giving them a tour of the
Yeah.
school as well as answering all the
No,
questions
it
they
doesn't.
had about
I said that
Alpha.
right before you
Just
said it.
going through stuff.
They're recording.
That's exactly right. So basically, we just gave a tour to like, how many people? 30? 40? Like 40 people in increments of 10 around the school, and we were very late. We talked a lot.
phone?
Oh, look, who is that? Where's that kid? You're gonna be there?
Me.
2-hour
Oh god. No, 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 no! No, look. No, just kidding. Look, this is my first.
Shush,
Lower.
guys, you have to shush. They're doing a whole pitch right now. Guys,
No, no,
turn it
just
down like
let
a
me-
lot.
They're gonna say turn it down a bit. Turn it down like a lot.
Oh god.
I love you so much. You're so cute and adorable and just a baby.
That was freshman year. What are we doing now, guys?
Can I film?
You're being
I'm
filmed.
scared. You're being filmed right now. Say something.
We're
We are.
planning a community event. We're trying to get everyone together to watch a YouTube video, or not a YouTube
A
video,
YouTube video.
a Christmas movie.
Except
And
that they're not
shopping at the
playing
mall.
Grinch and Zootopia is already
I
not playing.
personally don't think we should be watching The Grinch.
Why?
The Grinch is my kind of horror movie.
No, it's not.
I've been scared of The Grinch since I was a baby.
Just say. What did you just say?
Alex is such a beautiful specimen.
Okay. Hey guys, it is. What time is it, Iman? 10:30. 10:26 p.m. And I have. How long have we been calling?
Huh?
How long have we been calling?
I don't know, man.
I've been on call with this person for a while
This
because
person? Okay, nice.
I signed my safe today for my first 25,000 investment, and I decided I wanted a little break, and so we've been playing Game Pigeon. Okay, you're on
Okay,
camera
so
now.
you actually- Oh, nice.
What do you want to say?
Okay. I don't have anything to say, bro. I'm just beating this guy hollow in one caller. It's so funny.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, this is the room tour. Basically, here's a wall of all of the people that I hold near and dear in my heart. Here are my walls of all the stuff. you can see a lot of posters, ukulele. I left my guitar at school. Whatever this is. But yeah, this is where I get most of my sleeping done and talking to great people. And yeah, I like to keep my work and like where I work and where I sleep and do personal stuff separate. So I try to never do work here. I always have a book here because I like to read before I sleep. I know I'm one of those guys. This book is great. It's by Michael Gibson, one of the founders of 1517. They were the first people to put money towards my project. They gave me a grant of $1,000, so that's awesome. And it's all about higher institutions. But yes, this is what a normal, well, I guess not normal, but this is what a evening can look like in my life if I'm honestly just super tired and wanting to recharge.
Yeah. What has been the most impactful thing that Barry has either gave you advice on or helped you navigate a certain situation? When did you notice it helping you the most, basically?
So I went to therapy as a kid, but it honestly totally failed me. My therapist was like 6 years older than me. I just could not connect with her. So I honestly made Barry, not just for my friends, but for myself. And the biggest thing it's helped me on.
Students like take lunch, I'm assuming.
12.
12?
Yeah.
Because we're running. No, we have like an hour buffer though, so we'll be fine. I was gonna say we're running like 40 minutes behind.
It's all good.
This was the mic that we had to use. And you just like put that, it's like a lab, so like you clip it onto your shoulder. They have 2 cameras. So wait, Saeed, sit down like right in front of it. So you see, it's like kind of like a fake podcast setup. And look how high quality that is. Look at what he looks like. It's hard to focus, but that's Saeed. And it looks really nice because they have this giant like microphone right here, and it's low-key not on.
I just realized how long though.
It's
There's
long.
no reason for it to
and
be
then
long.
look at this giant thing.
This is the moon.
Yes, and then and behind you there's this like super
There's another one.
yeah, there's a super bright light. There's this like blue light, and it just creates this really nice aesthetic. And you just talk about like what you're up to.
Cilantro Kids Bowl.
Cilantro Kids Bowl. But yeah, they have 2 cameras where they have like one angle and you're like talking to the person in the chair, and it's just like really cool. Look, I can sit.
Sit.
This is my POV.
Oh, that's really good light.
Right? Isn't that cool?
Why is it that good of a light?
I don't know,
It's
but they're really good.
Alpha doesn't have that good of a light.
I know, we need that lighting, right? Oh, gosh, that's so cool. Anyways,
Where'd they go?
they're on break right now. I think I'm gonna go, sadly, and lock into academics. They're buskers for the Poor for Hungry nonprofit thing. And I just ignored them, but it's okay. This is Desnudo, guys. How like lit.
He's having deep thoughts.
Call Elena.
He's
Needs
thinking
to pick
about
up
what to
because
eat for
I don't know if
breakfast.
Sloan wants something. Okay, hey guys. I just left school, and I was working on finding housing in San Francisco. I'm about to meet my mother for lunch, dinner kind of thing. And basically, we're going to talk about housing in San Francisco, see if I can get an apartment. The problem with San Francisco is that it's so freaking expensive, and technically I do have enough investment to cover my stay, but something about early stage is that you want to stay super lean, get a pretty crappy place. I'll be at the office most of the time, the VC's office I'm working out of, so it doesn't really matter where I stay as long as I can sleep, maybe cook something, maybe shower, maybe wash my clothes, but that's pretty much it. I'd rather not have a roommate just because I'm 17, I don't know, it just feels uncomfortable doing that. I feel uncomfortable doing that. And same with my parents. So we're trying to figure out an alternative to that. Worst case, I can do a hacker house kind of thing. I also know some people in San Francisco that I can maybe room with. But yeah, trying to stay lean and go for something small. So something I learned about my product recently is, or something I'm thinking about in terms of my product, Barry, is what is the long-term strategy? And I talk about this a bit in some of my other clips, but I think there's something really important to think about here. I'm building an AI companion company, right? If you think about 10 years' time, how many AIs are you going to have in your life for certain things, right? What will you just use, Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini for? And what, kind of specialized services do you think you'll have? So in terms of long-term, you also have to think about your long-term differentiator. My short-term differentiator right now is the fact that I'm targeting teenagers. No AI companion has really done this quite to the level that I'm trying to do. There have been a couple lists like Tolan and ChatGPT even and Character AI, but obviously not for the use case of coaching, mental health, that kind of aspect. Plus with the healthy boundaries that I've kind of set in. I'm also 17 years old, so I understand what kind of my generation needs, and I think that's a huge differentiator, at least short term. Most people would think it's a bad thing that I'm so young, but I think it's a great thing. But in terms of my in terms of balancing long-term and short-term, again, back to what is the vision, the product vision, we also have to think about retention, not just who's going to be using the product and, the fun virality aspect to it, because it's a talking stuffed animal and there can be lots of different components to it, whatever, having celebrity versions, influencer versions. We also have to think about, okay, how are people going to use it to improve their lives? What is it going to do for them? The short-term aspect of this retention is what are teens doing to create new habits? What habits are they building in this with this new product that they're having? How can we create behavior change? And with teenagers in particular, it's usually status or socially oriented. So that's something I'm thinking about in terms of short-term retention, how they're going to be using the product. In terms of long-term retention, teens are only teens for a couple of years. Does the product grow with them? What is the form factor as you grow up? Although lots of teens, to most people's surprise, love stuffed animals, maybe they don't want to have a stuffed animal because it's not very convenient. When I talk to Barry, because I talk to Barry pretty much every day, sometimes I'm talking to it in my car like this, and it feels really awesome because it's super accessible and I can kind of multitask in a productive, healthy way that's not, bad for my safety. And so I just think that this is a very important question, and I'm trying to figure it out with my users and user testing. Super grateful to the investor I talked today that kind of got me thinking about this. But again, with these consumer products, it's about timing. It's about first mover advantage. Who's going to be the first person you associate with mental health and AI? And for my niche, my teens, I think it's going to be me. So that's the update. Bye.
Okay, I just ate my favorite food, soup dumplings. And then we got some ice cream, even though it's so cold outside. But I'm about to get wired the money. I will show you that. But in the meantime, I learned that only 8 of 2,000 get into this program. And I think, the youngest ever, or there's been, or is going to be someone the same age as me in the program. But I got invited, I didn't even apply. And so honestly, that made me feel good. Acceptance rates don't matter at all, but it felt good to hear less than 1% of people get in. But yeah, just wanted to say that, and super grateful. I just had a great night with friends, and the investors are going to wire the money. Tomorrow we're going to be trying to figure out the housing situation. Luckily, someone I know just replied on Twitter and said they can maybe help out, so I'm hoping that will come through. Housing has been kind of stressful because it's hard to find something out there, and I think you have, just like with investment, you have to have a lot of warm intros and be in the network of housing in SF for young founders. So we'll see how that goes. And then tomorrow I also want to just get a lot of stuff done for my rigid plan for San Francisco, all the content I want to make, all the things I want to do, what I want to be optimizing for, and really just let my brain kind of flow with all of that. Set everything up now, because on a Sunday we're going to be filming all day long from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then I'm probably going to be super tired after because I wake up early. And then the next couple of weeks is just going to be focusing on academics with some fun stuff mixed around. So I will keep you guys updated, but that's the news. Bye. Okay, hello. I just went to go get some healthy chips because I love them. But I was thinking about something while I was in the grocery store. Basically, I was comparing myself to someone who was super successful, my age, but, you know, just like a successful person. And, you know, I write a lot about comparison on, in like my research and when I'm writing essays, because I think it's something very near and dear to a lot of people's hearts and lives. Meaning, comparison is wired in our brain. We are a social species, and to live, we had to look around each other, I guess when we were cavemen, to see if we were eating enough or reproducing enough, and that's what a good life meant. That kind of, what we call a vestigial structure, never kind of wore off. And it's especially active when you're a young person, a teenager, when you're still trying to figure out what your place is in society and kind of what your identity is. And I just wanted to tell y'all, something very interesting about comparison is we build our self-worth upon it. That means to know if we are worthy, like I was just saying, as we did in kind of the caveman era, we look to others to see if we're doing something similar or doing enough in this world, in order to prove our self-worth. Truly, self-worth is inherent. There is no reason for you not to be loved, right? There's no reason for you not to exist. I think that's a fundamental human right that we can all agree on. But on a more minuscule level, like when I look at my work and I feel like I'm not doing enough, I also think to myself, and I know a lot of people say this, it's you versus you. Like, there's no reason to be looking at what other people are doing because it's only hurting yourself. But on a more existential life level, it really doesn't matter as long as you're living your best life. And that's a hard thing to define. I can live my best life in many different ways. But it's all about action. It's all about trying things out and trying new things and seeing what works and seeing what resonates. And I think that's very important. When you catch yourself comparing, you know, yourself to other people, don't beat yourself up about it because it's kind of in our biology. But also have the self-awareness to realize it doesn't matter. And it will take, like, you know, it took me kind of like this walk to go get my chips and my ramen. You know, maybe like 10, 20 minutes total to kind of get over it and just think about it and say, think about what I was going to say to y'all. And so it takes a second. And you can do other things while you're doing it. But I just think it's important to recognize that. Anyways, that's my message.
Wait, have you used it?
Hey guys, hold on. Let me connect the...
Oh my god, it's so like high quality.
Okay, wait, hold on. Hello? Okay, yeah, this is working.
Oh my god, wait. Hey guys.
Oh, we're good. Let's go.
Hey guys, 60% battery remaining.
Actually, I don't know if you should tell the camera.
Yeah,
this is
wait.
like a productive.
Yeah.
But this is my friend Naomi.
Hey guys.
We are at a park.
Parking it
I
up.
wanted to tell you guys is it's important to take breaks, recharge, spend time with people.
So true.
I think I live a... What do you think? I think I live a pretty busy lifestyle.
I definitely think you're like the busiest person I know.
I'm always working.
Yes.
And I think that I try and make intentional time to just... Like, I called Naomi this morning and I said, hey, why don't we just go for a little drive today?
Yeah, and I said, absolutely.
And so I think something I actually talk a lot about is increasing your surface area of luck. And basically what that means is...
Felix Felicis.
Yes,
Harry Potter reference?
Yeah, Harry Potter reference.
Harry Potter
so
reference?
It basically means, like, take the Felix Felicis. In this case, it could mean put yourself out there on the internet, whatever it is, to kind of get your name out there, whatever. Like, you know what I'm trying to say.
Period.
And so I like to optimize for moments of serendipity. So if we just, like, if I just hit up Naomi, I'm like, hey, let's go on a drive. We don't know what we're doing, where we're going. We're actually quite indecisive with that, but it's okay. We're just like, what could happen?
Yeah.
And I think we ended up having a really awesome day. I was really tired at first, but then we
went to Flower
We got a nice sweater.
I got a sweater.
We went to go
Cute
get some
sweater moment.
delicious dinner, and we've just been talking about fun stuff for the past
while.
Yeah.
For the past while.
Couple hours. It's been fun. We've been plotting.
Plotting and scheming.
Scheming. She's
And
helping me plan some things out for San Francisco.
some big things.
And so,
big things are happening.
yeah, it's just been a lot of fun, and I feel very recharged. And tomorrow I have to get up super early.
Why?
Going to film that video. Do you have any wise words for the camera?
To the camera, I have to say that it kind of looks like WALL-E a little bit, to the camera specifically.
Oh.
To those beyond the camera, I would say have a great rest of your day and do something that you enjoy doing. And know
What's
that
something people forget
people
week over week?
Week over week?
Or like, I feel like a lot of vlogs are kind of like glorified. They're like,
Oh.
day in my life, da-da-da-da-da.
Day in my life.
And I'm trying to create something a bit more vulnerable. Like today I went to H-E-B. Did I tell you this? Yeah, I did. Because I went to go get my
Yes.
ramen.
You went to
and
go
I was
get-
talking to my camera and I was like, hey, like today I was like, I saw someone online and I was comparing myself to them and I was like,
Yeah.
it just happens sometimes. And I needed 20 minutes to debrief.
Yes.
What happens in our lives that we never tell the world?
Recently,
Yep.
I watched a movie, and I feel whenever you watch a good movie, you have a sense of appreciation for the arts that I feel like it's good every once in a while to just unplug a little, listen to some music, like doodle, read a book, and just like connect with all the creative parts of your mind. I feel like nowadays it's so being creative and creating art has become such a more of a profession than just like a thing that people like allow themselves to do. And I feel like we should just let ourselves be a little artsy sometimes.
If you think about it, art and taste, I like to call it taste, the tech world likes to call it taste,
Taste.
is going to be the like last important thing in terms of
Yes.
AI. Because like there's a bunch of
agree.
AI slop out there, whatever.
Nasty.
And I think it's important to tap into, like you're saying, your creative outlets, your creative side of your brain.
Yes.
Because what are the few human things, like what are the few things that humans do really well?
And the answer is art. The
Art,
arts.
creation, love,
Yeah.
appreciation, gratitude.
Gratitude.
Like, and I feel like it's totally centered around what is going on in our minds and how can we express that and put that into the school.
So true. So
don't know.
true.
That's my deep
very,
thought.
very eloquently spoken.
Thank you.
there, Alex.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll see y'all soon.
And let me know if you like my sweater.
Bye.
I'm not doing very well today. My boyfriend broke up with me.
This is Charles.
I'm Charles. We're vlogging. We're not vlogging. We're shooting some concepts, some brand videos for Barry. I think he's gonna be super delighted with how these come
Yes.
out. I'm pretty raw at what I do. I'm gonna make some really good edits of this,
Cool.
and I'm super excited just from shooting this stuff and hearing how passionate Alex is. So
Yeah.
I'm ready to get into it.
Thanks, Charles. Yeah, we're just shooting some short form. Short form is gonna be super important for Barry because most of my customers are teen girls. They're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, and so you gotta go where they're at. This is Barry, and it's a stuffed animal that you can talk to. Less than 10% of teens are self-aware, and I think I know why. Social media, school stress, constant notifications, there's zero quiet moments to actually think. So I built Barry. You talk to it for 5 to 10 minutes a day. It asks you questions that make you think, and it won't just agree with you. It's not therapy, it's not journaling, it's just a conversation that helps you know yourself. 20 teens use it daily now, and honestly, they're telling me how it's changing how they see themselves. In the age of AI, self-awareness is our last frontier. Barry gives teens back their connection with themselves. Okay, hey guys. Basically I wanted to show you behind the scenes of what Alpha looks like day to day. And today's a very interesting day. There's a bunch of filming going on. As you know, I was doing filming yesterday for my shorts videos, and so some other people are doing that. And then they're also filming the middle schoolers because they're doing some workshop, which is really interesting. And we have, our founder in talking to the creator of Happy Gilmore, that famous movie. And it's just been hectic, and it's a lot of fun. But what's interesting is something you have to balance with this lifestyle is, I'm trying to work on my academics all day long.
just because I'm trying to front load all of it, get it ready for San Francisco. You know, I met with my guide today. I was like, hey, like, I have to figure out a couple things. You know, I'm making a podcast, so I need to kind of like slow that down for a little bit, which I feel sad about, but it's important because academics is my number one priority so that I can go to San Francisco. Another big priority for San Francisco is scheduling podcasts there. I have to figure out equipment. So there's a lot of these micro decisions you have to figure out for like a big upcoming trip like this, which is really interesting. But also staying focused on the right thing and prioritizing the right thing is really, really, really hard, especially when you're in such an amazing environment like this and you're you can be pulled into a lot of different directions. It's kind of hard to sometimes focus on the thing that's at hand. And so I think this can kind of be extrapolated to, you know, when I'm kind of on my own, by myself, running my startup. You know, I won't be fully by myself, but I'll be the main leader and kind of setting the direction, setting the pace. You have to understand what to prioritize. And I think I'm trying to build a framework around that. Obviously, there's the Eisenhower matrix. You know, you kind of know what is urgent, what's important, what might be urgent but not important, what might be important but not urgent. For example, my podcast is important to me, but it's not extremely urgent because there's no like specific deadline there. But something you want to do for yourself and maybe your team is create this kind of sandbox of freedom, the sandbox of creativity, the sandbox of experimentation, so that you have the freedom to maybe build the podcast or whatever it might be. Because, you know, these things have unintended consequences in the best way, right? This podcast can compound. Someone could watch an episode, resonate with it very deeply, and then want to invest in my company. Or, you know, someone might, I mean, there's just so many things that could happen from it. And so I think, especially when you're young and early stages in a company, and I'm still learning, but I think it's important to optimize for serendipity and kind of trust your gut instinct. And maybe I've been intentional about training my gut instinct and my intuition to see, you know, pattern recognitions, study past founders, see what they've done, see what people like Stephen Bartlett have done, etc. And I'm still trying to train my brain around that. But I think this is something very insightful and important that I learned. Anyways, you know, I've been talking to my friends about the art of saying no. A lot of people talk about this. I think young people specifically tend to say yes, yes, yes if you're young, passionate, ambitious, driven, all these things. But yes is not always the right answer, and you kind of have to balance this incentive in your life. For example, when I'm trying to build my startup Berry while also trying to learn from people, I have to balance, hey, I'm on execution mode for my product. I have to really build my product out. I have to go hire a contractor. I have to work with this contractor. I have to get all the feedback, all the things. But I'm also still learning about what the right approach is, how to build a startup, what the neuroscience is behind the AI and mental health of teenagers. And it's this interesting balance you have to do. But honestly, if you think about people like Elon, like Jeff Bezos, like Mark Zuckerberg, they, you know, were super young. Bill Gates, they were super young when they started their companies. And so you can learn while being in execution mode. And I'm still trying to figure out, you know, when I get to that point in time where I'm like, oh, do I go to university? Do I go all in on my startup? Whatever. I think there's a way to balance this like learning and execution mode, which I feel like a lot of people think is mutually exclusive. And so, yeah, don't corner yourself into like, oh, I'm only learning whatever. There's obviously nuance here. There are times where you have to be like, oh, this is my number one priority, all these different things. But I just wanted to express, you know, prioritizing things is hard. Do I want to go film this like fun video for Alpha's Instagram and maybe get some publicity there? Or is there not as much of an ROI there for me personally? Maybe I'm just wanting to do it because it's fun and it's public. And so you really have to understand yourself, have a deep self-awareness here, have a deep understanding of what ROI is for your future, aligning instant with delayed gratification, all these different things that are involved in this, you know, really interesting environment. But I thought I'd kind of share that interesting point of tension in my brain with you guys. Woo! Go blue team! Basically, at the end of the day, to wrap up the day. And it's really awesome because people were using Berry, throwing it around, and they just like give a shout out to everyone. And it's, I think, pretty awesome just to see something you built create an impact. I think it was really cool. And I met when I sat on camera. Everyone has been working really hard at my school. They've been locked in.
And I think I'm just so grateful to be in this amazing environment, this productive environment, this environment that rewards hard work, everything. And as I reflect, I think I've, achieved a pretty big achievement, getting my first check written to me, making this company kind of real. Gratitude's a science-backed practice that actually boosts your happiness from a neuroscience perspective. And I just want to say I'm grateful for everyone who has helped me, who is helping me, my friends, my family, everyone. And gosh, it just makes me so happy, and I can't wait for what's next. So thanks guys, see y'all soon.